I'd love to stay and chat, but you're a total bitch.
How's it going, everybody? It's your world champion here, and we are back with the Naruto arc reviews. We are talking about the Six Tails Unleashed arc. This is another filler arc from Naruto, so we're diving back into filler territory here, everybody. Strap yourselves in, because, ooh, it's a bumpy ride. It's a very, very bumpy ride. So, quick little synopsis of this arc, so Team Kakashi, who's led by Yamato. We have Naruto, Sakura, Sai, and Yamato as well. They are sent on this mission to protect this keeper of some forbidden jutsu, which is pretty much just a nuke. So they have to protect this girl with the jutsu, and they meet up with this guy who's her supposed master, and bad guys try to take over the jutsu. They win. End of story. Like, there's really not much to this arc. Sorry. This one, at least it wasn't as long as the three-tailed one, so it didn't overstay its welcome, but, well, we'll get into stuff that I didn't like in this arc right now. So the first thing I didn't like in this arc was Hotaru. She's the main female lead in this filler arc. She's the one that has the jutsu implanted on her back. And she's kind of annoying. And she had no other character other than, I want you to teach me, Master Utakata. I want you to be my master, and blah, blah, blah. Like, she was just so boring. Like, there was nothing to her character. And I'll even lead into my next point, too. The minions and the villain of this arc are also just so generic and boring. I don't even remember their names. They were that boring. They were just so... I don't remember their faces, their names. I literally just finished the arc, and I don't remember what they look like or what their names were. And that hasn't changed ever since I first watched the arc to this time watching the arc. It's not good. It just wasn't good. It didn't do anything for me at all. So the next point I'm going to talk about is basically the whole message of this arc. They just wanted to dig that master wound in us, because us as the observers, as the readers or the watchers, watchers in this aspect, we know that Jiraiya is dead. We know this for a fact. But they just wanted to just twist that wound in us, because Naruto doesn't know this, and he's spitting some shit about wanting to see Jiraiya again, being with Jiraiya again, talking to Jiraiya again, all that stuff. But we know that Jiraiya is dead in a far better arc than this was. We know this. So we just want Naruto, and especially if you read the manga, you just want to get to the part that we're about to get to. You just want to get there. But no, we're in this stupid filler arc that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It means one thing, which I'll talk about later, but even then, like, this whole arc was just, it irked me so much. Like, I'm so glad that it was short, because I don't know if I could have watched any more of this. I remember watching this weekly and being like, okay, is this over yet? Is this over yet? And even just on a binge watch, it's what, 8-10 episodes long? I just want to get it over with and done with so I could do this. I don't know if you could tell in this video how I'm presenting, but this one was just a pain to get through. And there's another filler arc that I remember quite well. At least I remember this filler arc coming up. But this one with the Six Tails, I only remember it because it had to deal with the Six Tails. And then, fuck it, let's just move right along to the other thing I didn't like. So this is called the Six Tails Unleashed arc. We barely get anything to do with the Six Tails. We get a little bit of Utakata's backstory of him having a master that wanted to take the power out of him. I get that. I understand that. You're, again, digging that wound of the master in there. But, oh my god, was it just ass-numbing to just hear all that. But not only that, we barely get to see anything of the Six Tails. We see him, like, use the power a little bit. I don't even think Naruto knew he was the Six Tails. Again, I just got through the arc. I literally just got through the arc. And I don't remember if Naruto even figured out he was the Six Tails or not, or if he was a jinchuriki. I don't remember that shit, because he was knocked out when the minions tried to take him, and Utakata came in blasting his freaking Six Tails power, and then when the girl was about to explode from her nuke inside of her, he just used the Six Tails power to keep it down. And after that was done, Naruto runs up, he's just like, duh, what happened here? And Utakata's just like, I don't know, they just stopped. Like, come on, you call this the Six Tails Unleash arc, and we're barely seeing anything to do with the Six Tails. We at least get Utakata as a character, which I actually kind of like that, and we'll get to Utakata in a second, but my god, was this just so... And you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go to my final point of this. I'm sorry. I'm bum rushing through most of this stuff in this arc. That should show you how much I did not like this. It's one thing to be a filler arc. That's one thing. I think the most egregious thing, the worst thing about this arc is that it was just so goddamn boring. I'm sitting there watching these cookie cutter filler characters do their thing, watching these generic villains do their thing, watching this horrible female lead being like, I have a nuke in my body, be my master, and Utakata's being like, no, and she doesn't want him as her master in the ninja way. No. I can almost guarantee you she wanted that slug D. I am just pointing that out there right now, but it's one thing to be all that, but like, it was just so boring. And if you're gonna expand on a story that involves like these tailed beasts and all that, you want to do an arc that expands one of them and does their own story, that's fine and all that. We had that with the three-tailed arc not too long ago, which I just talked about. We had that, and yeah, I had my problems with that, but at least it was kind of entertaining. This was just so boring. I almost fell asleep during one episode because I was just so bored with it. It was ridiculous. And that's just the worst part you could do in a series, is just being boring. Even the main characters, like, you know, I don't know why they're still called Team Kakashi for one, but whatever, that's a whole different issue. But Team Kakashi, they kind of take a step back with everything, which is fine. Let the filler characters do their thing. Cool, whatever. But they need to be a character in order for me to care. You need to be somewhat entertaining, somewhat interesting for me to care. The only interesting one is Utakata, and the only thing interesting about him is his power and the fact that he is a tailed beast. Like, again, just like what I just said, the worst thing you can do with a series is to be boring, and that's what this filler arc did. That is the worst thing that anything can do in the history of being a series. Okay, so rant over. We got through the stuff that I didn't like in this arc. Let's just all calm down, take a deep breath in, relax, because there was at least some good moments in this arc. First thing I'm going to talk about is Utakata. He's a cool character, you know? I like his power. He uses bubbles. Cool. That can be used in so many different ways, whether it's, you know, in a stealth kill or finding out information, transportation, all that. So that's fine. I liked his power. I like him as a character because he still cares about people, but he's his own like emo person. Like, well, I guess I wouldn't say emo. He's more of a goth person, but whatever. So he has his own way of doing things, and yeah, his backstory too with his master, like wanting to take out the power out of him and all that stuff. That was fine. And even the Anbu Black Ops that were coming to find him, they were like, hey, um, everything's fine in the village now. We're not known as the Blood Mist Village anymore. We got rid of our old ways. Come back. Everything can be fine. We'll work everything out. You won't have to be a rogue ninja anymore. It'll all be fine. But he still doesn't like that. Fine, good, fine, whatever. You do you, dude. You do you. But I don't know. He was at least decent, and he at least does grow in this arc a little bit from not really wanting to teach Hotaru any jutsu or chakra control or anything. He goes from that to actually, playing around with her, like still being himself, but playing around with her enough to where it's cute, funny, and all that. So Utakata, again, is a really good character. Again, like I said earlier, I wish we could have gotten more of him using the Six Tails power, maybe seeing him interact with the Six Tails as well, because, again, we're getting a jinchuriki here with Naruto. Have them interact more, have them, talk about what it was like for both of them, how it was different, how it was the same, all that stuff, but we don't get too much of that here. But again, within this filler arc story, Utakata not only served his purpose well, but he was actually a decent character. Yes, I would like more of that, but again, he was fine for what he was. So one thing I wanted to point out, it was actually a really good scene, and not a lot of people, I don't think, talk about it if they talk about this arc at all. It's the scene where Yamato goes to negotiate with the Anbu from the Hidden Mist Village. Now, these guys are on a mission to take Utakata back, and so they're using Hotaru as their as a hostage to get her to get Utakata to come back with them. Well, that kind of doesn't help the Leaf Village in their mission, so they ended up talking it out a little bit and coming to an agreement between the two parties, saying, hey, Hotaru, we're here to protect her, so you using her as a hostage is not good. We don't want to go to war for all this. Let's just calm down, focus, because she's close to this Utakata guy. So their agreement was, we'll Yamato was like, yes, we'll watch Utakata for you, and then as soon as all this is over, he can go back with you. We'll keep an eye on him for you. So they agreed to that, and they were just going to wait there and camp along. And then Pain comes around, and we'll get to Pain in a little bit. So I just wanted to highlight that scene real quick because I thought it was really, it was really well done, because we don't see a lot of just negotiating in Naruto. Well, we see a lot of talk no jutsu, which is a meme on its own, but legitimate negotiating between two parties, we don't see too much of that in Naruto. So just a nice little highlight from this filler arc. And then one other quick scene I do want to, well, it's not a quick scene, but one thing I do want to highlight from this arc is Naruto's actually pretty competent in this. He's acting more like an adult. He's acting a little more mature for his age and for Naruto as well. But I just want to highlight that because there was a lot of instances where he was demanding a lot of things, and he was acting like an actual ninja on a mission. There's this one point where he uses all of these shadow clones to try to find the main, we find out it's the main villain, but this guy that can help Hotaru with that forbidden jutsu. And so that was pretty smart on him. And then, them tracking them down and all that later on. I don't know, it was just really nice to see Naruto in this light of competency. Now, we'll get a little bit more of Naruto being more competent as the series progresses as well, but it's just one thing to note, because in a lot of filler arcs, especially with the Guardians Shinobi 12 one, he likes to argue with people a lot. You see the worst part of Naruto in these filler arcs sometimes, because he doesn't get along with people. He's always arguing with them, and we do have a couple moments like that with Utakata, with Naruto, but it's not as egregious as it has been in the past. So I do, again, like I did with the previous point, I wanted to highlight that again as well. And then the last thing I want to point out from this arc is Pain showing up. So he shows up twice in this arc, and both times are just so glorious. And you can argue, wait, if Pain was there, why didn't he try to get Naruto? Blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. I don't care about that. Pain showed up and just first of all, he shows up and destroys the Hidden Mist Anbu Black Ops people. He just absolutely decimates them. And then at the end of the arc, Utakata and Hotaru, they're all happy-go-lucky, and she's like, haha, this is the field that we first met. Isn't that great? So she's being all cute and all that, and Utakata leaves. He's just like, hey, I gotta do something real quick. I'll be right back. She's like, all right, I'll be right here. Another thing cool, I do like this scene. It's after, Utakata falls, but she's just kind of sitting there, like, humming this. It's that same grass whistle song that they did for in the Three Tails filler arc with what's his face? I forgot his name too. He was doing like the grass whistle things, but she was humming that song as, Utakata lays there almost dead from pain. And yeah, I just thought that was a great scene. But yeah, so Utakata tries to get in contact with these Anbu Black Ops people, and they're not responding back to him. He turns around, all 6 Pains are there. They're like, hey, you're a Jinchuriki host. We're here to capture you. One hit, done, out of the way. Pain's just like, we're done with this arc. This filler arc is done. Now all we need is Naruto and Killer Bee. So I love that, because Pain is the looming threat. You knew that Utakata wasn't going to get out of this scot-free. Like, he had to be captured eventually. He had to move forward with the main story, and this was a great way of showing that. Like, the arc's already ended. Pain is still a looming threat, as well as the Akatsuki. So here we go. We're getting the 6 tails, and we're going to be on our way. So that's about does it with the things that I liked in this arc. So I was going back and forth with the final grade for this arc. I'm going to give it a D+. This, again, like I was saying, this had some huge problems in it, but the most egregious thing was it was just so incredibly boring. But, it was made up for by, Utakata being a decent character, the ending with Pain showing up, and then just a couple character moments here and there were pretty good. So let me know down in the comments what you thought of this arc, things that you liked as well. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. Probably did. Again, this arc was boring as hell. So yeah, just let me know down in the comments what you thought of it. Be sure to like the video if I entertained you in any way, shape, or form. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because the next arc is a big one. We got the Pain infiltration of the Leaf Village, the destruction of the Leaf Village. We got a lot to talk about with that one. That one's probably going to be a big video. There's going to be a lot of talking points from that. So, as always, people, I've been your world champion. Catch you guys in the next video. See ya.
I don't need you. Better things are coming on the way.